This is a video response to the gentleman who mentioned some of the mythical figures, some of the Greek legends, and etc. and so forth. The one thing that I will mention that most of you are failing not only to mention, but maybe failing to understand, is that among all of the all of the mythical, quote unquote, God men that were mentioned, celebrated, or worshipped, whatever the case may be, um, Jesus Christ is the only one that has true historical standing and significance. I mean, search your history books. I mean, he was real, is real. Um, so, that's one thing. You know, um, uh, another thing, which you have to, another thing that you probably need to remember, um, is simply that uh, if someone, for example, someone set out, say, for example, to make, excuse me, if someone set out to make this uh, legend, as you put it, if someone set out to establish Christianity for the simple purpose of converting people to a non-existent God, that would be the single greatest conspiracy of all times. I mean, we're talking something bigger than a presidential assassination. I mean, we're talking about the biggest conspiracy of all time. And for what? I mean, that's, for someone to plot, to plan the divinity of Christ, the virgin birth, the miracles of Christ, the teachings of Christ, the Bible, and bear in mind now, the Bible, the Old Testament, Old Covenant Bible was written thousands of years before Christ was born. To say that someone wrote the Bible, um, I have a problem with my screen here. To say that someone wrote the Bible, followed the teachings of the Bible, the Old Covenant, and then fabricated the virgin birth, fabricated the legend, the history of Christ, and bearing in mind that Christ was a real person, a real person in history, you know, the miracles of Christ, and everything that it entails, simply to convert people to a God that didn't exist. That would be a pretty good trick, not to mention the fact that it would be probably the greatest conspiracy. No, not probably. I'd have to say it would be the greatest conspiracy of all times. Tell me why. I mean, just for an example, or hypothetically, why? Why would it be done? And secondly, more importantly, how? How would it be done? How would a person go about altering that many lives, changing that many things, fabricating that many pieces of history, and just for the mere fun of it? Let's say he did it for fun. Uh, you said that the story of Jesus was taken from different mythical figures in different mythical figures in order to ensure that Christianity would have easy converts. Why? What would be the point? Hmm. Interesting question. Look forward to your response.